Hi, Samta. It's so nice to have you here and talk about your book, Genome Jones. I completely loved the book while reading it. It's like one of the unput downable books, and it's so interesting and so fascinating that you could cover such a wide spectrum of organisms. I think that's really commendable. I think there's a lot of things that we can learn and so much more research that's going to bring up more questions than answers, I feel. Would you share some highlights of writing the book and working on this book?
First of all, I want to mention my co-authors, Shreyas Mehti, who, when he was writing it, he was just a teenager going to his 8th standard, and Dr. Mitali Mukherjee, who was formerly a scientist at CSIR IGIB, and right now she's the head of the biosciences department at IIT Jodhpur. So it was during the pandemic that we sort of got together, the three of us, to write this book. During the lockdown, when Dr. Mitali called me and said that here is an idea for a book which is started by Shreyas, and we'll have to tag along and find out answers to his questions. But then it was a very joyous journey. I mean, it was lockdown, and we sat down and had talks like these, where he'll pull up some animal video and he'll say that, see, this animal is so fascinating, but has anybody even looked at its genes? So then, when he put down a list of animals, we went back to the literature and looked at if the genomes are available, do the genes answer his questions of why an organism is the way it is, why an animal is the way it is. So that is how the book sort of started. And through the lockdown, we were working on it, and then we approached WWF India, which is World Wildlife Fund, and they were very happy to work with us on the book and sort of package it for the right audience, which is mostly children. We are targeting it for children, but of course it is for the adults too. And they worked with us, and now it's published with WWF India. Last year we launched the book also. So that is sort of the journey of how the book came about.
Like you said, it's meant for children primarily. How can it help children and support the education that they're getting, like the science education?
So usually, like if you look at textbooks, there is a set of chapters which has been taught for years. But here a child is organically taking up things of his interest from the internet, from watching TED Talks, and then he's asking questions. And we are now sitting and trying to think through the child's eyes and how they think rather than us pushing our knowledge onto them. So this book is also completely illustrated. Each animal, there is a curious way of representing or describing the animal, which is done by Shreyas, which is not by somebody who has done a PhD and has years of academic writing experience, but somebody like Shreyas in his own style and his own language, he has described it, and he'll have a question which will resonate with most of the kids. Textbooks sort of split everything into chapters, and we feel that one chapter is not related to another. But here, what we have tried to show is that genes are part of every organism. We have also tried to divide the book into the broad taxonomical classification so that they can relate to their textbooks also.
So I think you would have had a lot of fun while working on the book. Do you have like any favorite moments or any such memory while you were working on writing this book where you have, that feeling of awe that nature is so beautiful?
It would be the mud skipper. It's just one of those meme materials, you know. It is the kind of fish which comes out of the water, and then we are sort of sending it back saying that no, no, don't come out of the water, because it is sort of an amphibious fish. It jumps on the mud flats in and it walk through the mangroves. It also has genes which can help it survive on land as well as in water, and its genes are sort of puzzle put together from both amphibious creatures and then fishes.
I was wondering if we can have a giveaway. Can you think of any questions that we can ask the kids or also adults if they would want to answer? And we can have one book that we can give away to whoever answers it correctly.
So this is a very small organism whose genome has been studied extensively by scientists, and it has also gone to space. So if whoever can answer which is this organism, they get a book free.